He just like thought it was practicing responsible and boundaries with him, and I was like, blah, 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 blah.
Do you tell him to grow up?
I got the egg.
One of you definitely needed to grow up in that scenario, but unfortunately, I don't think it was him. I hate that you guys have me coming online to defend a man today, but we need to talk about this clip that's going super viral right now because I don't necessarily agree with everybody's take on this. I also obviously don't entirely agree with her. On top of that, I want to talk about this alongside the development of the Unwell network today. Hold on, because it's time for a nuanced take, which is tough online. So make sure you like, comment, repost, and follow along for more. But yes, this week, everyone is talking about this influencer Hallie's take that she gave on her podcast, Extra Dirty. And the Extra Dirty podcast operates under the Unwell network, and we will circle back as to why I find that interesting later. But in this clip, you can go find, it's still up, she talks about how she really hates condoms. She dislikes them. She thinks they kill the vibe. Then she proceeded to give an example of a time a man wanted to use one because he wanted to be safe and protected, and she proceeded to shame him and act like that was humiliating. And this all upset a lot of people. And in her response video, she comes online saying, sorry, not sorry, that's just my opinion. I'm allowed to dislike them. I'm not changing my mind. And I agree with that part of it. You're allowed to have an opinion. It's weird to me the same way it's weird that people try and force Sabrina Carpenter, who is an adult and makes adult music, to be role models for children when she didn't ask for that. We frequently hold women public figures to like this role model status that we never assign to men. Instead of just being like, you know what, that's a bad opinion, and I can agree to disagree on that one. The part where she loses me though is when she shared the story time where she shamed a man for wanting to be safe. She dragged him, belittled him, and acted like wanting to be safe was embarrassing and childish, as if she wasn't the one being childish in that scenario. That's the part that was insane to me, because we fought for so long for this to be normalized. We're still fighting for it, and you're gonna sit here and just yikes. The thing that jumped out about this to me is that her podcast is ran by the Unwell Network. And the Unwell Network and Alex Cooper, who's in charge of it, who does Call Her Daddy, have really caught my attention the last year and a half or so with their development. Because I wasn't really big on the original Call Her Daddy podcast when it was hosted under Barstool Sports, because it gave a lot of opinions that feels exactly like this girl's opinion that we talked about today. Sometimes it just felt like we were repackaging misogyny, but having it come out of women's mouths to sell to women for Barstool Sports. I probably had some misogynistic takes in college as well. I'm not here to dig that up. But I've noticed that the older Alex Cooper herself is getting, like many of us, the more her opinions are veering away from more misogynistic views like that of when she was under Barstool Sports, more towards some statements that are very publicly bold right now, which every time I see this, I'm like calling up the Unwell Network because I want to work for you, okay? That's who I want to work with. Because I think watching the development of the Unwell Network has been really interesting, and I think they're headed in the right direction. But then, yes, they still get some stuff like this every once in a while where it's like, oh Lord.